Good morning and welcome. A very warm welcome to the assistants of BEI Phase 5. Delighted to have you all joining this call this morning. Thank you for being here. My name is Jen Stradom and I'm at Teacher Connect, and I'm here to chat to you about the BEI training this morning. So let's talk about Phase 5. You are all assistants in Phase 5, and there's a couple of things that you've been asked to do. Firstly, you've been asked to complete all your training by the end of July. That's the end of this month, so 3.5 more weeks-ish. You'll also be asked to complete a monthly survey, which will get sent to you towards the end of each month. Over and above this, you have access to a heap of content here on Teacher Connect. I'm going to tell you a little bit more in a bit how to access all of that, so stick with me. Just settle in and listen carefully. I'm going to take you through all of it now. I just want to say that you'll see that your cameras and microphones are off. And for those of you raising your hands, I won't be paying attention to that. What I will, however, look at is any questions that come through the Q&A box. So I suggest you just listen carefully. I'm going to give you all the information you need to find and complete your training on Teacher Connect. But if you do have any questions, you can pop them in the Q&A box. We have a team here moderating and ready to answer your questions. So don't raise your hand. I won't be answering in that way. Again, for those who are just arriving a bit late, welcome. My name is Jen Stradom, and I'm with the team at Teacher Connect, and I'm absolutely delighted to speak to all of you this morning, our wonderful assistants of BEI Phase 5. So we're here to talk about your training, where to find it, how to complete it, get your certificates, etc. But over and above the training and the monthly surveys, we've got other content for you, which I'll touch on a bit later. We're going to have more webinars every other month. We've got a lot of content on soft skills, such as like work readiness, conflict resolution, how to make the most of the opportunity of BEI. We then have information around exit opportunities and career pathways. So for those of you who are already thinking about what's next at the end of your contracts, we've got you. We then also have a lot of FAQs. FAQs mean frequently asked questions. So we're preempting the kinds of things that you guys want to find out about. We have all that information on the chatbot, as well as live support. We've got a help desk team ready to help you. And then we have a feature where you can share your story, because we want to hear about your journey with BEI. Okay, so why are we here? I just want to repeat for those who've joined us a bit late, welcome again. The objective of today's session is to familiarize you with Teacher Connect. Teacher Connect is our WhatsApp chatbot, and this is where you're going to be able to register, find, and complete your training. So we're going to tell you a little bit more about how that works, but because it's on WhatsApp, it's going to be in the palm of your hand. In this session, we're going to look at things like how to register, how you register on Teacher Connect so that you can find your training. We're also going to talk about how you can change your assistant type if you've made any mistakes in your registration process, because as you know, there's different assistant role types. We'll also help you with resetting your profile if you need to redo your training for Phase 5. We'll go through the various types of training and what is required for your assistant type, so you can listen closely there if you have questions around this. I'm going to talk to you about how to find your certificate. Each piece of training you complete will give you a certificate, and that is your evidence that you've done your training. We'll then let you know how to find your certificates and how to change your details on the certificate should you have made any mistakes with inputting your first name and your last name. before I get into the nitty-gritty, I just want to tell you a little bit more about these sessions, these webinars with all of you wonderful assistants. We have these repeating every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The content of these sessions are all the same. So before you ask, because I know you're going to, you don't have to attend all of these sessions if you've already done your training. You can attend as and when you need to. If you know how to find and complete your training, then you're good. But you are welcome to attend as many of these as you need to until you are comfortable and until you feel like you're able to complete your training in full. So no, these are not compulsory. These are optional training webinars just to help you find your feet. And we hope that you will find them useful. So today's Wednesday, and this is our 11 o'clock call. We have another one tomorrow at 2, and then again next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Each session will have a different link. So if you want the links, please speak to your district coordinator if you want to attend the next one, or you can just email us. You'll see on the screen, there's our email address, BEEI@ecubed-DBE.org. In addition to the training, there's going to be, as I said, a lot of information on Teacher Connect. We have a huge repository of FAQs, but if you need help over and above what you can find on the chatbot, take note of this email address, BEEI@ecubed-DBE.org. All right. So welcome to the Wednesday session. Let's do this. I suppose I just want to remind you all that you don't need to attend every webinar. These are not compulsory. There is no attendance certificate. There are no attendance registers. So there is not, you don't need to provide evidence that you have attended these sessions. These are just to help you find what you need. So you can attend as many times as you need to get the help you need and to have your questions answered. But as I said, if you're confident that you know how to register on Teacher Connect, you know how to do your training on Teacher Connect, and you have gotten all your certificates, then you don't need to attend these webinars. This webinar is only here to help you. And as I said, there's no certificate or attendance register. So we are just very glad that you have chosen to be here with us today. I'm now going to get into the nitty-gritty of the training. So what are we going to learn today? We're going to look at how to register, how to change your assistant type, how to reset your profile, to assist you with what training is required based on your assistant type. Are you a reading champion? Are you a curriculum assistant? Are you a handy person? We are going to help you figure out what you need to do. We're also going to help you show you how to get your certificates and then change your certificate details. Just a reminder, your cameras and microphones are off. I see some of you raising your hands. You don't have to do that, but if you have a question, you can put this in the Q&A box. I have Candy and Mackenzie here on the call who are moderating, and they will help to answer your questions. I'll also have a look in a bit to see if there's any repeat questions that I can answer here. So let's do this together. You can send the word hi to Teacher Connect on WhatsApp. Here's our phone number on the screen, 060-060-3333. Take this phone number, save it to your phone as Teacher Connect, go to WhatsApp and send us the word hi. If that feels a little complicated, you'll see on the bottom left of my screen, there's a QR code. If you have a QR reader on your phone, you can just scan that code and it'll take you directly to WhatsApp and you can just send the word hi. That's all you need to do to get started. Everyone with me, I'm going to repeat that phone number one more time. Save this number to your phone as Teacher Connect, 060-060-3333. Or scan the QR code on the bottom left. This is how you're going to get your training. So you'll see there's a video on my screen. I'm just going to start it from the very beginning just to show you how easy it is to find us and to get what you need. So here you go to WhatsApp, you go to the number you saved as Teacher Connect, you type in the word hi, and then we're going to say welcome. You then look at the message, and at the bottom you'll see a little button that says next. When you're ready, you tap the button next, and then we're going to take you through the registration process. You'll see you'll get a privacy policy. This is in accordance with POPI, the POPI Act, which is to do with the protection of personal and private information. This is just so that we can collect your information to help you with your training. No, we're not going to sell your details. We are bound by the POPI Act. And once you accept this, you can give us your details and know that we will store them safely. So you'll see once we've done that, you select your cater. It is important. You guys aren't teachers or principals or learners, maybe one day teachers and principals. But for now, your cater is BEEI assistant. That is what you are going to select. I'm just going to go back slightly in that video. You'll see here, I've accepted the privacy policy, and then I select BEEI assistant as my cater. So none of these other caters are for you guys. This is the one you want to select. Then once you've done that, we're going to ask you for some of your personal information. Here we ask for first name. So it's important here that you just put in your first name or first names. So you'll see here in the video, first name, Jane B, wait. Then we send another message asking for last name. And then here she puts in her last name, Smith. Then you'll get a message saying, nice to meet you, Jane B, or whatever your name is. And then here you'll see our opt-in. This is completely up to you, but if you opt in for messaging, we can give you updates as and when necessary. You'll then be asked to select your role. Here you'll see Jane B has selected that she is a curriculum assistant. You'll then ask for EMIS number. Just a reminder, your EMIS number is a unique number for the school that you are working in. So if you don't have this, before answering this, just get that number from your principal or teacher mentor or fellow assistants. We need that number so that we can know your school, province, and district. You'll see we then ask for email address, an ID number. This is just an example, so that's not a real ID number. Make sure you put your correct ID number in full so we can identify you. That's the end of registration. There you'll see Jane B, she's registered and ready to go. I'll just go back slightly. That's the ID number. And then registration is done. And there's the BEI menu. Are you guys with me? For those who have joined a little bit late, you can save this number to your phone, 060-060-3333. You save the number as Teacher Connect and send us the word hi on WhatsApp. Not in the chat, not in the Q&A box, on WhatsApp. Also, if you've got a QR scanner on your phone, you can just scan this QR code at the bottom of your screen right now. I'll give you a couple of seconds before I move to the next slide. All right, registration. I've gone through it in the previous slide, but I feel like I want to go through it again because this is important. We need to get your details correct. Because this is what's going to be reflected on your certificates. And this is how we're going to be able to check on the system who all has completed their training. So when you register, on my screen, you'll see the information that is required. We need your first name. We need your last name. We'll need your EMIS number. If you don't know your EMIS number, you can get that from your principal or teacher mentors. They will definitely know what that is. It's a unique number for your school. We then ask for your assistant type. So are you a reading champion, a curriculum assistant? Are you a sports and enrichment assistant, etc.? We then would like your email address and your ID number, as well as you to opt in for communications. I'm going to play this video from the welcome menu. Actually, I'll play it from the very beginning. So we'll go through the process of registering on Teacher Connect. You go to the phone number 060-060-3333 and you type the word hi. You'll then get our welcome menu. There it is. You'll tap that button at the bottom that says next if you're ready to continue, and then we take you through the process. This is the privacy policy I spoke about earlier. In order to have access to Teacher Connect, you do have to accept the privacy policy. So when you see this, you can click on the document, read over it, and go back and click yes, I accept. Once you've accepted, we take you through that process. Cater, you're a BEI assistant. Everyone on this call, you are BEI assistants. That is what you will select as your cater. We then ask you first name. You'll see the video here on my left. First name's Jane B. She's typing in her details. You see, you have time to type everything correctly, so make sure you give us the correct spellings as they appear in your ID. Last name's Smith. Nice to meet you, Jane B. We'd like to send you communications. Are you going to opt in? Yes or no? This is entirely optional, but we do suggest that you select opt in. We then ask you which type of assistant you are. Here is where you put your assistant type. So Jane B is a curriculum assistant. Here, Jane is typing in their EMIS number. This is just a test, so that's not a real EMIS number. Don't give us a bunch of zeros. Get your actual EMIS number from your teacher, mentor, or principal at your school. We then ask for email address. Take your time, capture this information accurately. And then finally, we ask for ID number. You'll see Jane putting in her ID number. Awesome. And then that takes you to the menu. And here you're going to find the next pieces of information that you need. Let's talk a little bit about resetting your profile. So for those of you who have previously joined the chatbot and have registered yourselves, potentially you were still learners when you did that, you'll need to clear your profile and start again. So if you have, and similarly, if you are an assistant from a previous phase, or if you've registered with the wrong cater or assistant type, you'll need to reset your profile and start again. I'm going to play this video here. Oh, I'm having some trouble with my video. I'll rather explain to you how that can work. So like you send the keyword hi to Teacher Connect. If you need to reset your profile, you need to wait 5 minutes and then type in the word Teacher Connect Clear. It's this word in the center of my screen in bold. Teacher Connect Clear, one word. This will reset your profile, and then you start registration from the beginning again. And here we can rectify wrong assistant types, etc. If you are an assistant from a previous phase, the reason you need to do this is because you'll need to redo the training for phase 5. So even if you were in phases 1, 2, 3, or 4, the training is a little bit different for phase 5, so you'll need to redo it and obtain your certificates again in full. So we recommend that you reset your profile in order to start the training again. I'll just go through those instructions one last time. You type in Teacher Connect Clear, one word, with no spaces. Make sure that spelling is correct. You then wait for the response. It'll tell you that your profile has been reset. Once you see that message, you type the word hi, and you can begin registration again. This means you will lose all the certificates that you had completed previously, but everything's available on WhatsApp, and you can go through that training at your leisure before the end of this month. Just a reminder, if at any point you get lost on the chatbot, if you wait 5 minutes and then type the word hi, it'll take you back to the menu and you'll be able to reorientate yourself from the beginning. So we are all just human and we make mistakes. So if you've registered and you selected the wrong role type, we've got you. You're able to change this. I'm going to show you how. Likewise, it's potentially not just making a mistake, but I know in some cases assistants have 2 different roles, and this would be how you'd be able to access the different training material once you've completed the training for your first role, then you can complete for your second one. So you'll see here, this is the menu that you get when you, once you've registered and you say hi. On the menu, you'll see it says tap here. I'm going to go back slightly just to show you again. Once you click tap here, you get all these options presented to you. You're going to go to change my role, and we're going to guide you through updating that. So here, Jane B, she's selecting change my role, and then we say hi again. Will you select your cater? So then once you click on the list, this is what comes up. Carefully look at the options and select the one that is you. What have you been contracted for? Are you a laboratory assistant, e-caters assistant, a handy person, a care and support assistant, reading champion, curriculum, whatever it is, select the one that best describes your role type that you were hired for in the program. So sorry, I've skipped ahead. I'm going back. I'll just play this video again. So here's Jane B. She was a curriculum assistant when she registered. She wants to change her role. She clicks there, change role, gets the message to correct her assistant type, and here she selects handy person. Then she's taken back to the training, and she'll get the training for a handy person. There we go. According to our records, you're a handy person's assistant. What would you like to do next? She wants to do the handy person's training, and there it takes her to it. Amazing. Are you guys still with me? Let's check. For those who joined the call a little bit late, my name is Jen Stradom, and I am with the team at Teacher Connect, and I'm telling you a little bit more about how to find, complete your training, as well as how to get your completion certificates for each piece of training. This is the very start. So for those who joined late, or for those who need a little bit of a reminder, just say hi, not here in the chat, on WhatsApp. You can add this phone number to your phone, 060-060-3333. You can then go to Teacher Connect on WhatsApp, send us the word hi, and like you see on my screen, we're going to guide you through the registration process. If you're at all confused by those instructions, you can send us an email. You'll see here in the yellow bubble at the bottom of my screen is our email address. If you require extra support, it's BEEI@Ecubed-DBE.org. If you send us an email, we'll be able to help you. Alternatively, you can scan the QR code on the bottom left of my screen, and this will take you directly to WhatsApp, and you send us the word hi. It's as easy as that. Just a reminder for those who have popped in a bit late, your cameras and mics will be off. But if you want to ask a question, please just pop that in the Q&A box. You'll see towards the bottom of your screen, there's a little button that says Q&A. You can pop your question in there. I see some of you are raising your hands. I will be ignoring that for now because you can ask questions in the Q&A. And for those of you joining us on YouTube, we have a live stream. You can also just pop questions in the chat if there's anything that's unclear. Otherwise, I recommend that you just sit peacefully and listen, and we'll give you all the information you need. All right, to the matter at hand. Let's talk about the training. So once you've registered and shared your details with us, we then know your assistant type, and we can tell you which training modules you need to complete. So we're not just making you register because we want your information. That's also some of it, but we actually want to be able to help you find what you need to find. So this is why we ask that you go through registration carefully and give us the right information so we can give you the adequate training modules that you need to complete. Assistants only need to complete the training that is shared with them. So I know potentially you're wanting to do all the training you can. You're welcome to, but you don't have to. The mandatory training for your role is what we will show you in the training hub based on your role type. So in addition to the training on WhatsApp, there is some additional training links from partners on external websites, and those will also be listed for you. So I'm going to play this video. This is the BEI menu. It says, "Hi, Jane B." Tap here. If you go right to the first option, training, and hit send, we will then take you through the process. You can decide if you're ready to start or you want to do a training later. Jane B is keen and she has said ready to start. And here we go. Because she's registered as a curriculum assistant, we can tell her what training she needs to do. So Jane B is a curriculum assistant. So here we tell her you need to do orientation, curriculum training for foundation phase, curriculum training for intermediate and senior phase, as well as curriculum training for FET and introduction to project-based learning. So for a curriculum assistant, these are the 5 pieces of training that they are required to complete on Teacher Connect. So now that she's got her list of training, she taps at the bottom. It says tap here to select. Jane opens that and can decide where she wants to start. Jane has selected orientation training, and now you'll see she's taken directly to her training. The training is actually done in WhatsApp, so you have all the power in the palm of your hand. So that's what it looks like. The start of orientation, they'll be served in bite-sized chunks, message by message, and then you find your way through by tapping the buttons. So here's a bit of a background. And then once she's read everything, she taps next. Here's some tips. And then when she's ready, she'll tap start lesson 1. Amazing. All the training in the palm of your hand. This will give you a good idea of what it looks like. One of the questions we get a lot is, do I have to do the training right now? No, you can do the training when you want. However, there is a deadline of the end of July, so you do need to complete your training before the end of this month. However, you can do that whenever you want, at home, at school, when you have some free time and you're able to focus. Because essentially we want you to learn as much as possible. So we don't just want you to tap your way through the training and binge it. We really want you to pay attention and absorb. I think there's a lot of information that will help you not only as a BEI assistant, but will help you in any future employment that you wish to pursue. So I just want to reiterate how to find your training. Once you've registered and you go to the menu, you'll see numerous options of what you can do: training, work readiness, FAQs, surveys, webinars, sharing your story, changing your role, or obtaining your certificates. Just a reminder, you won't have any certificates unless you've completed training. So yeah, but for the purpose of finding your training, you want to hit that top spot right there and go to our training hub. This is where we will tell you which training you need to do for your role type. Here's Jane B. She says she's ready to start. And we say, according to our records, you're a curriculum assistant. This is the type of training you need to do. So that's just an example of one role type, but this is how easy it is. You just tap the buttons to find what you need. So what training is available? As of today, we have orientation training, which is compulsory for all assistants to do. All assistants, regardless of their role type, are required to do orientation training. There's then care and support training for care and support assistants, as well as curriculum training. We have 3 pieces of curriculum training, one for foundation phase, one for intermediate and senior phase, and then one for FET. Those are for curriculum assistants. We then have handy persons training for our handy assistants and reading champions training for our reading champions assistants. Training that's still in the works is the sports and enrichment training, workshop assistant training, laboratory assistant training, as well as the training for ECADERS assistants. That training is not yet available, but should be made available before the end of the month. So just want to repeat that. Orientation, care and support, the 3 pieces of curriculum training, handy persons, and reading champions training is all available on the chatbot as of today, and you can go and start your training right now or whenever you have time to do so. Sports and enrichment, workshop and laboratory, and ECADERS training are still in progress, so there isn't any training for that. However, if you are a sports and enrichment assistant, a workshop assistant, a laboratory assistant, or an ECADERS assistant, you need to do the orientation training. So you can start there. So what types of training do you need to do for your role type? I see you asking these questions in the Q&A box. This is for you. Listen carefully. If you are a curriculum assistant, on my screen right now is all of the training that you need to complete. Number 1, orientation training. 2, digital literacy. It's the online safety training from Kitsao. You then need to do all 3 pieces of curriculum training for foundation, intermediate and senior, and FET phases. And then you also need to do introduction to project-based learning. Curriculum assistants have the most training that they need to do. That's 6 pieces of training for curriculum assistants. That is what is on my screen. Let's talk about a different assistant type. Reading champions, this is for you. You need to complete orientation training. Also your digital literacy and online safety training, that's the Kitsao training, as well as your reading champions training. That's 3 pieces of training for reading champions. Care and support assistants. You need to complete orientation training, as well as the digital literacy training and your care and support training. The digital literacy, that Kitsao online safety training, that is off platform. So that is not something we manage, but you'll find orientation and care and support on the WhatsApp chatbot, on Teacher Connect, and we will then provide you a link of how to get to the digital literacy training. Handy persons. You also need to do orientation training, as well as the handy persons training and digital literacy. But if you go to the training hub, you don't need to remember all of this. We'll tell you what you need to do. You just need to register and we'll do the rest. Ecaders. There is no standalone Ecaders training for now. You need to do orientation and digital literacy. Ecaders assistants, I hope you're with me. Laboratory assistants, same story. You need to do orientation and digital literacy. The workshop and laboratory training is coming soon, so that is not available yet, but don't wait, get started on your orientation training. Workshop assistants, same story for you guys. There is no workshop training available just yet, but you can get started on your orientation training as well as digital literacy training. That's the one hosted off our platform. We will provide you a link in the chat box to find it. Sports and enrichment assistants, I haven't forgotten about you. You also need to do orientation as well as digital literacy, and the sports and enrichment training is coming soon, so you can check back in the next couple of weeks for that. So I'm going to pause here. I mentioned that lab and workshop training, as well as Ecaders and sports and enrichment training, is not available yet. So don't worry about those at the moment. All you need to know is that all available training needs to be completed by the end of July. And when those new courses become available, we will send you an SMS or WhatsApp to let you know that those are ready for you. I want to quickly talk about certificates, then I'm going to look at the Q&A box if there's any questions for me to answer there. So look at my video on my screen. You'll see this is Janet. She is here at the BEEI menu. She clicks at the bottom where it says tap here, and here's the list that comes up for her. So let's talk about certificates quickly before I show you this video. For each piece of training that you do on Teacher Connect, a certificate will be issued automatically once that training has been completed in full. So if you haven't completed any training, you don't have any certificates. However, if you have completed some of your training, well then you have certificates that have been issued to you at the end of your training. But if for some reason you need to find your certificates again, we've got you. So we suggest when you do obtain your certificates at the end of your training, when those are shared with you, save those to your phone or send them somewhere else where they can be saved. So email them to yourself, email them to your teacher mentor, wherever they need to go, but save them in a place where you can find them again. If for some reason you haven't done that, this is how you find them. On the main menu, you tap the button that says My Certificates, and then you are then able to find your certificates. You see here, Janet Sneyman, she's gone. They've asked if her name's all right. She says yes. And here, all the certificates she's previously earned are presented. So here she's got orientation and reading champion certificates. That must mean Janet's a reading champion. So there are the certificates. They're these little PDFs with your name, the names as you've given us, and the date that you completed your training. I want to pause there and just see if there's any questions in the Q&A box. So let's have a look. Here's a question. How do you recognize who is attending the Zoom meeting? Well, we don't, because this is not compulsory. These sessions are optional and are just for you to get orientated and figure out how to find and complete your training. So there is no attendance register or certificate of attendance. This is completely optional. So thank you for being here, but yeah, we don't need to recognize that. There's a question here that says the contract will take 5 years, question mark. No, all assistant contracts, as far as I'm aware, are for 6 months. So I don't know where that has come from. No 5 years for that. I need to do a Digify Africa course. I'm a curriculum assistant. Yes, you do need to do the Digify Africa. That's the CASAL digital literacy training. You'll find links to that as well on the chat box. Zanele asks, there is no GSA role under the lists on WhatsApp. All right, Zanele, a GSA isn't an assistant role. It just means a general assistant. What is your actual role though? Are you a handy person or sports and enrichment assistant? We'll need your assistant type to be able to give you the correct training. If you're not sure, you can check your contract or just confirm with your teacher, mentor, or principal. How do you complete the NSSF training? This is a question that I see. Thanks for the message, Ambrosia. Yes, you can complete it. This is, however, not compulsory training, and we will provide links on the platform and how to get that. Jandre, she will repeat that for the next hour. That's right. I'm going to be repeating myself just because we want you guys all to be able to find what you need. So if the repetition is a bit too much, you're welcome to drop off. That probably means you have found what you're looking for already. Letsejo says, if I have a certificate for orientation and for digital literacy, and I'm still waiting for sports and enrichment training, must I still join the classes? Well, no. It sounds like you know how to find your training and that you've successfully completed your training. We will let you know as soon as the sports and enrichment training is ready. So it sounds like you're good to go, Letsejo. Well done. I'm going to look at one or two more questions. Hi, Jane. If I type Teacher Connect Clear, it's giving me the same options. Hi, so I'm unable to register. Okay. And Kulileko, to answer your question, sometimes the chatbot just needs a minute to reset. So what I'm going to suggest is wait 5 minutes. It's now 11:43. Wait 5 minutes, maybe 6, and then try typing Teacher Connect Clear again and see what happens. It should then reset your profile. And then when you type hi, after it has told you it's reset, you should be able to re-register. But if you have some trouble, just look at the email address, which is on my slides, and send us an email. I'll just repeat the email address for all of you. It's BEEI@ecubed-DBE.org. If you send us an email, we'll gladly assist you. And I'm going to do one last question here. Sasha Lee says, where do I find the digital literacy certificate? Well, that's also something that will be provided to you once you've completed the training. If you follow the link that is provided on Teacher Connect to find the digital literacy training, all the information will be on their website. That is not a piece of training that we host, so hopefully they'll be able to assist you there. Okay, I am back. All right, back to my presentation, if I can find my screen. One moment. All right. So let's talk a little bit about your certificate and changing your name if you need to. So if you've made a mistake, which is completely human, it can be changed. So you'll see here on my screen, I'll just restart this video so you can see it from the beginning. We allow you to change the names that appear on your certificates, but only once. So please listen carefully. So you'll see here, Janet Sneyman has gone to the menu, selected my certificates. Gosh, let me go. Sorry, my presentation is misbehaving. Here we go. So on the menu, you'll see right at the bottom, it says My Certificates. If you click My Certificates, you have, as I said, one chance to change your details. So here it says, please confirm your details are right. And then I say, no, I need to edit. And you'll see that Janet had spelled her name wrong. So there she's put in the correct spelling, Janet. Put in her surname again, even though that was correct, just to confirm. And then right away, her certificates are reissued with that name change. As I said, this is only available to you to do once. So please be careful when you put those details in. If you have already changed your name and you need to do it again, that's where you just send us an email and we can help you out. I'll just play this video again because this is a question we get quite often. How do you change your name on your certificates? The certificates reflect the name that you gave us. So if you made a mistake, it's all right. Here under My Certificates on the menu, you're able to edit that. We'll ask you again for your first names and then your last name. And then we will then automatically reissue you all your certificates with the correct details on it. So if you've made a mistake, don't worry, we've got you. There we go. Congratulations, Janet. There's her certificates. Orientation, reading champions, and that is handy persons. So Janet's done lots of training already and care support. Goodness me. All right. We're nearing the end of our time together this morning, so I'm going to repeat myself yet again. For those who joined late, this is how you find us. You say hi to Teacher Connect on WhatsApp. It is a WhatsApp chatbot. Most of us use WhatsApp in our daily life, so we've tried to make it easy and accessible. If you've not registered before, save this number on your phone. It's 060 060 3333. You then go to WhatsApp and send us the word hi. And then, as you see on my screen, we take you through a registration process. You need to accept the privacy policy, give us your CADR. You aren't teachers or learners or officials, you are BEEI assistants. That is the correct CADR. You then give us your first name. Jane B. Those are her first names. She's typing them in for us. She then gives her last name. Jane B. Smith. We then say, hi, nice to meet you, Jane B. Would you like to keep up to date with stuff? You can choose yes or no. This is essentially an opt-in for us to send you notifications of new training and stuff like that. You then are asked to select your assistant type. These are the assistant role types. Jane B is a curriculum assistant, so she's tapped curriculum assistant. She's then asked for EMIS number. EMIS number is a unique identifying number for each of your schools. If you don't have your EMIS number, don't do like Jane B and put all the zeros in. Give us your actual EMIS number. You can get that from your principal or your teacher mentor. We then ask for your email address. You can just make sure to capture that accurately. The timeout is only about 5 minutes, so you have lots of time to type everything in carefully. And then there you go. That's the menu. Once you get to this menu, you'll be able to find everything you need to. Alternatively, you can scan this QR code on the bottom left of my screen, and it'll take you directly here, and you send us the word hi. Once you've registered, at any time, if you need to come back to the bot and you want to talk to us on WhatsApp, you just send hi again, and we'll take you to the menu where you can then select what you want to do further. As you see, there's a number of items. So once you have the menu and you tap select here, these are all the options. You'll see training, work readiness. We've got heaps of information on how you can make the best of your contracts in BEI. we've got a repository of FAQs where you can find all the information about the program, the role types, codes of conduct, information about your stipends, about how to apply for leave, about dispute resolution, etc. You'll then find links to the monthly surveys as well as the bi-monthly webinars. We then have an option called Share Your Story, where we encourage you to share your stories with us. We want to know about your journey as an assistant. You're then able to change your role. So if you, for example, accidentally select curriculum assistant, but you're a reading champion, that's where you go to change it. This is also where you go, for example, if you want to do all the training. As I said before, you don't have to do all the available training. You only need to do the training that pertains to your assistant role. But if you want to, this is how you do it. So once you've done all the training for your role, you can go change to other roles and do those other pieces of training if you so wish. And then my certificates, that's where you can find all your certificates again, should you have lost them. Or you're able to change the name on your certificate, but again, you're only able to do that once. So here on the menu, you'll find everything you need. We also have a help desk team on the chatbot. If you get stuck, they can help you. But if you get really stuck, my email address is here on the screen. It's BEEI@ecubed-DBE.org. So don't hesitate to reach out to us if you need something. So we're here in the last couple of minutes, and I just want to see if we can just go back. I just want to show you guys again how to find your training. Give me one moment. So I'm going to play this video, and this is how you find your training. Once you've registered, on that main menu, you tap where it says tap here. And then right at the top, the option that says training, you select that and you hit the button send, and then it will then take you to what we call the BEEI training hub. The available information, all the information you need is there. You need to finish all your training by July. And we have a host of training available for the various role types. We have orientation training, care and support training, curriculum training. There are 3. As you can see on the screen right now, foundation phase, intermediate and senior phase, as well as FET phase. So that's 3 pieces of curriculum training. We then also have training for handy persons assistants, as well as reading champions assistants. And soon there'll be also training for sports and enrichment assistants, workshop assistants, laboratory assistants, as well as e-caters. So the last 4 are still in progress. We'll send you a notification when that becomes available, but everything else is there. On my screen right now is an example of the orientation training. It's all in WhatsApp. So the power is in the palm of your hands. Start lesson 1. So there's lesson 1, job profile and broad expectations. So it'll tell you a little bit about your job profile, your roles and responsibilities, as well as the skills and qualities required for the job. There's a lot of great information on here, which will help you settle into school and excel at your assistant role. There was a question earlier about general school assistants. Why isn't there an option for them? That's because general school assistants are either sports and enrichment assistants or handy persons. You'll need to know which you are. Some potentially are both. And then you need to come and you need to then register accordingly, or email us and let us know if you need a little bit of help re-registering. But I did show you earlier how to change your role. Also, if you need any more help, we have another one of these sessions tomorrow at 2 p.m. They run every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 and on Wednesdays at 11. You can attend as many of these as you need to get comfortable and to find and complete your training on Teacher Connect. But if you're all set, then you don't need to return. These are completely optional. There is no attendance register, and there is no certificate of attendance for this session today. This is purely an orientation session, just to put your mind at ease. So I would like to thank you all so much for your time and for listening and for your questions. I'm delighted by the level of enthusiasm and hunger for knowledge. I just want to give you a reminder that your training should be completed by the end of July. And for any of the new courses that are not available yet, we'll let you know when they are available. So you don't need to worry about that. I just want to go one last time to the QR code and phone number over here. If you haven't saved this phone number to your phone, please do. 060-060-3333. Save it as Teacher Connect and go to WhatsApp and say hi. But I think I've said that about 12 times now, so you should be on top of it. But if not, join us for the session tomorrow afternoon and we'll go through it again. If you encounter any difficulty, that's our email address at the bottom of the screen, BEEI@ecubed-DBE.org. In our last couple of minutes, I just want you all to look at the screen at the registration process. Reminder, your cater is BEEI assistant. We ask for first name and last name, email address, EMIS number, and ID number. And once you're registered, you'll then have access to all the training you need to complete. You'll see here, Jane B put in her surname. She's opting in for communication, so she's going to tap yes, message me. She's selecting her assistant role. I'm going to pause there briefly. You will fit into one of these categories, so you need to select the one that best applies. We ask this so that we can provide you the links to all your training. EMIS number, that is a unique number that identifies your school. If you don't have your EMIS number, please get that from your teacher, mentor, or principal. We ask for email address. You can capture that, as well as ID number. Don't do what Jane B is doing. Don't give us a bunch of zeros. Give us your actual ID number as it appears in your ID book. We are then able to know who you are and that you have completed your training or not. And then that takes you to the menu. One last time, these are all the options you'll find on the menu. There is a host of information there, so don't panic if you can't find something. The first time, you can look through our FAQs at your leisure, or we've got our help desk team to assist you. You can also just note down our email address here at the bottom of the screen, BEEI@ecubed-DBE.org. And you can email us if you get stuck. Thank you very much. It's now 12 o'clock. I'm going to close the webinar, but I just wanted to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate your time and enthusiasm, and I wish you all the very best for the rest of your contracts. We're absolutely delighted to be helping you with the training, and we wish you all the best on your learning journey. We'll see you on WhatsApp.